Hi, my name is Francesco Lopez, and today I will be presenting this entity relationship diagram for the expense manager. I created this ERD for the collection and maintenance of customer tax related information to facilitate the relationships between customers and tax consultants and also to improve the experience of the yearly tax return. The expense manager database will be a cloud database which can be accessed by both parties, the account firm admin and the customers from their phone app. The accounting firm wants to introduce new services through a phone application such as managing deductions, vehicles and their mileage. Starting from the most important table, the customer table, as the name suggests, wants to collect important information about the accounting firm customer. As we all know, the email attribute could be used as our primary key, as it is a unique identifier, but sometimes user might change their email and this could create problems throughout the database. So, to avoid future problems, each user will have an ID used as the primary key. Another important aspect of the customer table is the password attribute. The password attribute will be encrypted using the password-based key derivation function. This technique is highly recommended and it is used a lot at the moment for passwords. A SHA-256 algorithm will be used with this technique. The SHA-256 will generate 64 hexadecimal characters. Therefore, the password data type is a char and it allows 64 characters to be stored. It is not a varchar because the SHA-256 algorithm always generates 64 characters, no matter how long the password is. The next table is the receipt table. The customer may scan many receipts, but a receipt must be scanned from one and only one customer. The relationship between customer and receipt is a non-identifying relationship. The customer will be able to scan receipt. Each receipt has certain information to be stored in the database. These include a photo of the receipt for the customer records. The photo will be stored as a binary large object. At this point, we are not too sure if we are going to actually store the image in the database. Images can take a large amount of data. The accounting firm does not really need to store the images. It is in the customer interest to keep a record of their receipt for any future auditing. For that reason, the image attribute in the receipt table in the initial design can be null. Now we are looking at the tag and receipt table and the relationship among these tables. Each receipt needs to be categorized, hence each receipt must belong to one and only one tag, and a tag may belong to many receipts. The relationship between the tag and the receipt table is an identifying relationship. The reason for it is that a receipt cannot exist without a tag. The tag table has only one attribute, tag name. Tags cannot have duplicates. A tag must be unique as it represents a certain category of receipt. For that reason, the tag name attribute has been used as the primary key. Having unique tags allows the tax consultant to calculate the total receipt amount for a tag and retrieve other receipt information regarding a certain tag. The expense manager wants to also offer a vehicle logbook service to their customer. This service allows the customer to keep track of their vehicle mileage and business trips. Let's look at the relationship between the customer and vehicle table. The customer might use as many vehicles, and a vehicle must be used by one and only one customer. For this table, the license plate number could have been used as the primary key, because, as we all know, every number plate is unique. However, the accounting firm may have customers working for the same business and using the same car. So what's gonna happen if a customer tries to add a vehicle which has already been inserted into the database by another customer? Well, if the license plate number is the primary key, it will not allow the customer to add the vehicle because it already exists. So, to avoid this problem, a separate ID has been used as the primary key, the vehicle ID. The maximum length of a number plate in Australia is of 6 characters. That's also including customized number plates. The data type for the license plate attribute is a varchar, as the number of digits might be lower than 6 if the number plate is personalized. The odometer's attribute data type is a char, allowing 6 characters only. Every odometer has 6 digits, and there is the international standard for every vehicle. Finally, we have the trip table. A vehicle may complete many trips, but a trip must be completed by one and only one vehicle. Also, this is a non-identifying relationship. As you can see, every surrogate key, such as the receipt ID, customer ID, vehicle ID, and trip ID, is an auto-incrementing integer. To keep consistency and minimize redundancy throughout the database, the onUpdate and onDelete foreign keys option have been modified. In the receipt table for the customer ID foreign key, I've set the onUpdate to restrict. The reason for it is that the customer ID cannot change. The customer ID must be always the same. So, in the case of customer ID changes, SQL won't allow it to change. Instead, onDelete has been set as cascade because we want to delete any row in the receipt table that references the customer ID we are deleting. For the tag reference instead, as the user can change the tag or delete the tag, we have set both onUpdate and onDelete as cascade because we want to reflect any changes made to the tag name in the receipt table. In the vehicle table, we have only one foreign key, which is the customer ID. The same concept applies here. The customer ID should not change, so onUpdate has been set to restrict, and onDelete has been set to cascade. So if a customer is deleted, then every vehicle belonging to the customer is deleted too. Finally, for the trip table, we also have one foreign key, which is the vehicle ID. The vehicle ID also should not change, so onUpdate has been set as restrict and onDelete has been set as cascade. So when we delete a vehicle, all the trips related to the vehicle are cancelled too. This is it for the Expense Manager database. Thanks for watching.